stuck in the dark. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make you mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good. Follow your heart, baby, don't be shy. Just follow yours and I'll follow mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good. Something good.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle, Education Director with ASIS, on secret location again this week, outside of my office today, but wanted to bring you some great content, and we're going to mix it up a little bit today. In the past, if you have followed us and seen other live streams, we have had a couple tours of our campuses in Mesa and Tucson. And so today we're going to bring you a little look inside our Prescott campus through the eyes of our newest instructor slash staff member, Chaz Gilmore, who's very, very new, not only to our campus, but to Arizona. And we're really happy to have him on board. Such a great addition to our team that I said, hey, you want to do this? And I don't think he knew he had a choice to say no. So we are jumps right into everything. So we're going to do that and jump right into bringing him in, and let's chat with him. So let's welcome Chaz. Hi, Chaz.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks so much for agreeing to do this. Like I was just saying, you one of the first things that we all noticed about you when we started chatting with you to like see if when you were interested about the position is how agreeable you were. And we're like, this guy, we got to have him because he's going to just be like our insider who's going to say like, yep, totally. Whatever you need from me, whatever's going to happen.
Dive right in.
Dive right in. That's the way we like it. Yeah. Never look back. So, so I did just mention that you are really, really new to our, so tell us a little bit how long you've been in this position, how long you've been in Arizona now, so we can get a perspective of set the stage for the rest of the conversation.
Yeah. So literally it's the same time frame. So I moved here Memorial Day weekend, started working here June 1st, and I've been in Arizona since June 1st.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like just a few weeks here, but yeah. And I know when I asked you to do this, you're like, I don't know what I can really bring. And I said, I really think, first of all, you doubt yourself way too much because you've got a lot to talk about. But also it's a unique perspective from someone who's newer to the area and the campus and to our organization to kind of give a set of like fresh eyes about what you're learning so far and what you notice about us and all the little dirty secrets and everything too. No, just kidding. Sort of. So let's chat a little bit about your background. So tell us how you got into massage therapy.
Yeah. So I actually went to 1-year university and then decided I went to my massage school, like an open house, and was like, this is it. This is where I want to be. So that was 10 years ago this year and made that leap. I went to the Boulder College of Massage Therapy. And the main reason behind that was seeing my brother, and he went through physical and massage therapy to rehab from an accident. And I would go with him to these sessions and ask them, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Yeah. And so they were probably like, who is this kid? I was probably 14 or 15, like, why is he so inquisitive? But I just was genuinely curious about what they were doing and how they were helping. And the bulk of the work that they did was massage.
Yeah, yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, I get a lot of people in the industry, they get into it from personal experience, whether someone close to them or they themselves have been through massage rehab and things like that, and just
Yeah.
saying this is pretty cool. You're able to do this kind of work and make a difference with someone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear that a lot because it's one of my first questions I usually ask everybody on this, and we get a lot of that kind of response. Were you ever able to work on your brother once you got licensed and in
Oh
school?
yeah.
Or?
So
Yeah.
him, like, he has a lot of scar tissue, and so
Mm-hmm.
I got to do a lot of like myofascial release with him, and just basically kind of do a little bit of continuing care when because I was living in Colorado at the time. But I'd go
Mm-hmm.
home and set up the table, and are you kidding? My family lined
Yeah,
up. They were so
that's
excited.
awesome. Yeah. So
But
did
yeah.
you feel a little like full circle moment with it,
Oh yeah.
or yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. And then I would reach out to a couple of his therapists that he actually had, and they were
Mm-hmm.
like, "No way, you did that! You actually did it!" And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are a big inspiration to it."
Oh,
So,
that must have made them feel really great.
oh yeah,
Like, yeah, because it's sometimes like any job, you get a little burnt out sometimes, and to know like what you're doing can make an impact on not only the people you're touching, but the people around them as well. So that's a
oh
really
yeah.
great story. Yeah. So, what kind of modalities were you most attracted to in school, or what did you gravitate towards? What do you kind of practice now?
So, biggest one would be that injury rehab part of
Hmm.
it. But
Hmm.
within like injury rehab, I kind of still break it down to the orthopedic and deep Swedish or
Hmm.
deep tissue, as some people coin it, and then that
Yeah.
myofascial release. So, kind of integrating all those parts together is
Right.
basically what I do. But
Yeah.
when I go to explain it to someone, I'm like, it's deep tissue because
Yeah.
they don't know all the special language around it,
Yeah.
everything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
deep work, big
Yeah.
stretches.
I know. Yeah, this conversation comes up so much like in our classes and what people call in and ask for. And it's like this coinage term that we have now, the deep tissue, and it means a million things to everybody, and it's not always consistent or what they think it is. And we could go on a whole live stream about that
Yeah.
topic alone. But yeah, I think because a lot of people, it's just kind of common vernacular now. People are kind of associate that kind of work with that term. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So
Deep Swedish. Keep
deep
it
Swedish, I
simple.
like that. It's like a deeper pressure Swedish, very firm Swedish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I tell everyone, fight me to the death about Swedish not being therapeutic because I hate when I see that
Yes.
on menus, like on service menus, when people say, "Oh, do you do Swedish or therapeutic?" And I'm like, "Oh boy, let's talk about Swedish and how therapeutic it is." Because I will take a beautiful Swedish massage over anything,
Oh
any
yeah.
day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I digress. So let's fast forward a little bit. You're in your massage career. How did you get into the other side of it with being a staff member or getting interested in the teaching aspect of it?
So, kind of like what we do here, we, as a student, had to write a letter about our future self as an LMT. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I finally opened it, or I like intentionally opened it and wasn't just like,
Uh-huh.
oh, that's the letter. So I
Yeah.
opened it and like I was reading along, and sure enough, one of the biggest goals I had was to teach. And unfortunately, my school was closing, but I was working in our clinic there as a professional because we could rent the room if we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also working in admissions there too. And so, and then I had also just turned in my paperwork to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then unfortunately, the school closed.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I'm like, well, how can I do this? How can I make this
Mm-hmm.
happen? And then fast forward to now, and here we
Mm-hmm.
are. But
Yeah.
it's always been a genuine interest of mine to get people excited about massage, to really understand what all it can do for people, because we
Mm-hmm.
are in such like a touch deprived country.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we get more people interested, invested, and all of that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I talk about that a lot. I teach the infant and child portion of our special populations down on our Mesa campus, and I think we were mentioning it before. I've also zoomed in with the other campuses too because it's such an important part of my life that I've had extra training in, and just I'm really fascinated and interested in that population. But that the touch deprivation does start from an early age, and just getting it going from infancy is pretty spectacular to make that a part of somebody's life from such a short age. I even when I went to massage school, I never even got on the table. I've never had a massage until I went to massage school. And I
Really?
go, yeah, never. It was not something you do. Like I used to work on people, like on my dad. He's always done heavy labor type of work, and I would always try to help him feel better at the end of the day. But it wasn't something you would go and pay someone and go do. Like that was just strange.
Right.
So yeah, so it's just kind of shows with that. Like it wasn't a normal part, and now I try to instill in my son, and like he gets foot rubs every night. No matter how I feel about it, to make sure we're at least getting that. But yeah, you bring a great point that's part of, I think, what we in the education part of it are making sure that we're encouraging more and more of that, making it normal, and bringing it to the masses, and helping more and more people understand it's not fluff. It's not just for certain people. It's not just for injuries. That's another one. It don't have to be hurting necessarily, right? To be able to do it. So to increase that education for everyone is pretty amazing. So tell us a little bit about your admissions background. Like what did you think you would be? Was that something someone just kind of said, hey, what do you think about this? Or did you actually say, I'd like to try that? Or how did you jump into that?
So ironically enough, it was one of my previous instructors initially who got me excited about it. And he'd sent me an email kind of out of the blue. I had just started practicing back in my hometown, and he sent me an email and he was like, I think you would be great for this. And so I was reading through the email, and he said, it's admissions. What do you think? Do you think you would want to do it? And I was like, yes. Like the more the merrier. Let's get people in here. Let's get them excited.
Yeah.
Do our open houses, do our I can help in the clinic or wherever is kind of necessary. And then it was just a tipping point from there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I'm back in it, and it's like, yeah, this is fun. This is exciting.
Yeah.
And just chatting with people about, why are they interested in the field, from the very beginning, and then hopefully start being able to watch them go from prospective student to graduate is sort of the goal there. So
yeah, those moments are always the best. Like when you know them from day one, and then you get to see them graduate. It's yeah. You're gonna have a moment. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to peek in on that when that happens for you. So. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I started in the working in the Swedish class when I first started with ASIS, and so I remember my first graduating class, because our program's so heavy in Swedish at that beginning stage. You spend so many hours with them that you're just like, they're my babies. They get to see them grow and fly the nest. I know, and they get to leave the nest. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for the July start, because then that'll be my first Swedish class that I'll get to see them all the way through.
I know, that's really, really exciting. So yeah, July, we have 2 starts coming up, right? Are you what do you remember the dates off the top of your head, or what our starts are looking like in July? Let's see, I'm testing you.
I think there's 3 or 4 that we have for July up here in Prescott. But I don't know about any other campus.
Yeah, so we have the 17th, I believe we start our part-time program.
Yep.
And the 19th, the full-time program. So it just lined up again this month. I think May was the same thing. We had 2 boom, boom start rate, but it kind of changes month to month of how it happens. But you guys are going to be pretty, have a lot of excitement going on there. I'm really excited for you that. Yeah, that's really cool. So tell us a little bit about your first impressions of the program, and just Prescott in general, and what are your first thoughts as a newbie to the area and to our program?
Yeah, so the program, fascinating, because it's 800 hours, which is awesome, because most states, as we all know, require at least a minimum of anywhere from 5 to 900 or 800 or whatever the case may be. So I was looking over and learning the progression of it. It's just such an interesting and awesome take on how to put it all together, and getting to see how they can start at 1 here, but then they're just going to follow along with all the modules and everything and get them going.
Yeah.
It's a very unique program. I do like the hybrid aspect of it, because I think a lot of people after 2020 are used to doing everything online. So then some of the programs online. So it makes it even that much easier. Yeah. Bearing in mind that if they ever have questions, that's one of my biggest things with this current students here. I'm like, do you have any questions about kinesiology or your anatomy? Do you have any questions? I'm always here as a resource. So that aspect is great. I haven't explored Prescott too much, but from what I can tell, it's like a It reminds me of my hometown. The layout is super fascinating, and it's just hot. That's the biggest difference I've noticed. Like, it's just a little toastier
A
here than it is back home.
toastier, yeah, just a tiny bit. And you're not even down the Phoenix area, so
I know. Well,
Yeah.
that's where my best friend lives, and she's like, "Would you want to come down for the weekend?" And I'm like,
Do I
maybe.
know?
Can we spend it only at the pool the whole time?
Yeah. Oh,
But so
goodness.
far, so good. It's a really great place.
Mhm.
Lots of great little shops and places to eat and
Yeah.
all that. And I love where the school's located. I didn't realize it was going to be right downtown.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
really
really
cool.
nice. Yeah, just walk distance to everything. Yeah, especially if you don't want to move your car once you've had it parked. You like,
Yeah.
I'll walk and get my lunch and stuff. So.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I know like what makes a really great instructor, what makes a really great admissions representative is just being excited about the program. And I feel like that comes out of your pores. It just you can just feel it from you. You don't even have to say anything. I just feel it coming from you. But what are some of the things that you're most excited about to show students or to answer their questions when they're first coming in about admissions, some maybe aha moments or clearing up confusions or misconceptions? Are there any kind of things like that stick out to you?
I think one of the biggest things is the industry of like what it looks like. And then even down to like the language around it. Like if I hear the word masseuse, I'm like, what did you say?
Yeah.
No, let's
Try again.
teaching opportunity. Let's learn
Right.
about that. But I think it's just overall just getting people in the door. And then I think kind of changing their perspective, because again, some people still have this mindset of like, well, if I do this, then I'm only going to be working with this little bit of clientele. And it's like, no, you can work with whoever you really want to. There's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So trying to instill that as an idea, getting people
Yeah.
more acquainted that you can do this as a lifelong career, because some people also have that mindset of, well, I can only do that for 4 or 5 years before I burn out or my body gives out. And it's like, no, you can do this forever. You guys have to self-care is important.
Right.
So really trying to plant those little seeds in the beginning of this is something that you can do. And then think of the other avenues, like I'm in admissions, but I'm also teaching, but I also practice.
Yeah.
I did just get my Arizona massage
I
license.
know,
So that
I'm
was
so
super
excited.
exciting. The
Yay.
mail delivery guy, he came in and he's like, Chaz? And I said, yeah, big old envelope. And I was like, oh, I bet I know what that is.
It's
So that was fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that moment. And yay, good for the turnaround. So things are picking up. That sounds really, really good, because it's
really impressed. It was I think it was less than a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew, they're getting better every day. So it's all coming back at all. So you had also mentioned that you, as an instructor, helping the students with any kinesiology, which is for those, studying of the muscle movements and things like that. What other kind of support do you like to offer, like, from an admission standpoint or a staff member standpoint? Is there, and maybe pulling off of your past experience of how you saw students through in your other school? What are some things from your standpoint that a student can expect to get from you?
I think in general, just like a full, well-rounded array of information. Like if they come to me and say like, I have this client who has this issue, what would you do? And that's something that I've already encountered here very recently. And it's like, well, let's talk about it. But then also keep in mind, all you're going to do is talk to the client, try to ask some more questions. But I think it's just kind of a very eclectic, well-rounded aspect of what I have to offer them. And if I don't know the answer, then I'm going to be like, hey, let's research it. Because then we can both learn something if I don't know what it is. And I can also show you in the process of, here's how you would research it. And then here's some recommendations of how to study too. That's another big one is, I know this is cliche of how to study these muscles, but it's also helpful. So just bear that in mind, So giving them those tips and tricks, giving them those ideas, and then trying to keep it relevant and then putting it all into their body too. I think with especially the anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, students have a tendency of like, there's so much to learn and I don't know how to learn it all. I'm like, but you're just think about it in yourself. It's like stand up, do the movement, and it's in there.
Yeah.
So that's what's another really fun thing to do with them, is get them thinking like, yes, you're going to be working with your client, but learn about yourself first.
Yeah.
And keep it very simple.
Yeah, I think that too. In orientation times, I usually tell them like this program is going to change your life in so many ways. Not only you getting a career, but I know for myself and for most therapists I speak to, I had transformation, huge transformation in massage school.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I've never been on the table. No one ever massaged me in my entire life, and just the thought of somebody doing that, I was like, what? That's weird, right? Because the way our society kind of is, if you're not used to it, and just loving my body and loving what it does for me, and what what I learned, how it works, and just having a lot of higher self-esteem, and I don't know, is it, and confidence, and I went to school in my early 20s, I think. I think that's how long ago. It was a long time ago. And it's a huge transformation time, that like from teenager to adulthood, right? And doing that through massage school was really transformational. It really was. And it didn't all come super easy, and it doesn't always come easy for all of our students, on a personal level, and also like an educational level, an academic level. I find, and I'll ask you how you feel about that, many students in the massage field, people gravitate to massage, might have not been the most traditionally successful students, right? And perhaps like the traditional learning environments wasn't where they excelled. But now, like your example of doing the putting it in your body, and actually, okay, stand up and do it, like instead of like just reading it from the book all the time. I feel it's something that connects in a way that's so much different than pretty much any other field, right? You actually can physically get up and do the stuff and feel and touch and put it in your brain that way. And I see those moments from students all the time who don't have that. They always thought that they just were never school people, and there's like, I just didn't have the right school, I didn't have the right environment. Do you find that's also the case?
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the biggest demographic of students that we're going to find are the kinesthetic learners. They're the hands-on, they need to do it. They can't sit in a big lecture hall for hour and a half. That's just not their style. Right. How can you learn it from the book or from the teacher and take your notes, but then how can you physically apply it and make it real? And that's something that I think most students who are drawn to massage, in addition to like wanting to help people and all that, but as far as their learning style, they need to do it. And so I think that's a big difference of, well, I can just read it in the book and I can memorize all the terms. But how do I make it click for me? And I think that those kinesthetic learners are the big ones that we get to work with.
Yeah, it's so very exciting. And one of the bonuses for our school, that we have smaller classrooms, that we can really slow it down or I don't want to say slow it down, because that makes it sound like we're having to like go like, but we can adjust and we can turn and we can mold whatever way we need to and support. And I really love that about our program. And I love the modular system for that reason, where we have a newer student and a more experienced student working together and working off each other and supporting each other that way. So that's always been great. Like we can say till we're blue in the face, oh, come to us for help. You need any help? But I find those connections they make with a fellow classmate has actually been really, really supportive and helpful in those kinds of situations.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm always big encouraging for like, join a study group, go out for coffee, go do something, but make it geared towards learning. What did I just ask? I think it was earlier this week. I said, have you guys ever been told, or were you told already, to go people watch? And at first they were like, what? And I said, just do some gait analysis. Just watch people walk. Just do that. And then start breaking it down, being like, I bet that muscle's like, maybe it doesn't function as well, but just getting them even to take it outside the classroom, just even a little bit, whether it be study groups or those other types of things. So
and then you can't stop doing it. I'm sure you do it everywhere you go. You're like, oh yeah, that person's levator totally off. Oh, must have a hip thing going on. Yeah.
You can't turn it off once you turn it back on. It doesn't do it.
Yeah, you almost want to be like, I see you look very hunched over. Here's my card. Please
Yeah.
come see me. And you're like, you don't want to be offensive either, but yeah,
Open the
yeah,
chest.
exactly. He's like, stretch it out, stretch it out.
Like,
It's just contagious. Yeah. There you go. Educating our clients, right? And our future clients. So
yep.
So I didn't know if you were able to maybe do a little mini tour, kind of show a little bit around what's going on and in the campus. Prescott's got an interesting layout of the campus. But some highlights, if you wanted to point out to us, if you're able to do that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take you with me.
Yay! I love going on trips. Yes.
So we'll go on a little trip.
Yeah.
So we'll show you the clinic area first.
Okay.
So nobody's here, but it's just a nice little clinic area, nice little seating area.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was just in the big classroom.
Uh-huh.
And this also serves as, make sure it's kind of bright. Sorry about that. But
that's okay. No, you're good. It looks good.
So this is the big classroom. Tons of stuff going on in here. All your supplies are in here. Mm-hmm. And then this is also where clinic is. So
we should point out probably those curtains at the separating the bays that we use.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a
like that.
Very nice, relaxing environment when it's all like dim and nice little bling blong music is playing. And, yeah. And
then everywhere you'll find charts everywhere because you're in school, so super helpful.
Yeah.
We can take you through. We have a cute little lunch area. Oops. Cute little break area.
Nice.
And then we'll take you through to the other side.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're going to see a staff member in the wild.
She's a staff member in the wild. She's on the phone.
Hi, Kristen.
She's the campus director and financial aid over here. And then this classroom, so it's a little bit smaller, but this is where kind of your initial classroom would be, especially at our campus. And then you have all of your tables and
mats and stuff.
All the equipment there.
So where are all the desks and chairs, Chaz? Where did they go?
Funny, you should ask. So there's not actually any desks or chairs, just because we're the type of campus and type of education where we don't really want that. It's not something that we're like, oh, you need to sit down and take all these notes. It's like, let's sit in a circle and like take a little bit of time and get comfy, get cozy with each other. But that's something that is a big seller for us, is that we don't necessarily want to or like to teach in that capacity, just because it's not as what's the right word? It's not as formal or intense, I guess.
Yeah. Although we do tell students, if you need a chair, we're more than happy to do that. But we get on the floor, do some stretches in class, get some movement going. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I love it. Anything else that you want to share at all about the campus, or about what about like a perfect student or somebody? I wouldn't say perfect student, because everyone's got their own journeys.
Well, I was a perfect student. No.
Yes. And it shows in your professional life as well.
Yeah.
So what about someone who, what makes an ideal student? Someone is coming to the campus, and what would attract them to come over, and how can we support them in starting a new journey?
Yeah, I think that initial aspect of we get to know them right away, and we get to know them pretty well as to, what is your support system like? Or do your friends and family support you in this decision? But then also getting down to, why do they want to learn massage therapy? Yeah. What are their dreams? What is the demographic that they would like to work with? And then just continuing to push them along with the same mindset, though, that they're like ready for and they just want to keep going and keep going and keep going and learn that next modality and go to that next module. Right. So I think it's a two-part aspect of like, we're here to help them and push them along, but also they're just excited to come to class, because it's it's different than your than your college university. This is a trade school environment, so it's just I personally think it's a lot more fun. But
Yeah, absolutely. I have so much fun. And I went up there about a month or two ago, and I taught the prenatal class for the day students. And we had a lot of fun, almost to the point where I was like, okay, we got to like get back to focus here. Like we're enjoying ourselves a little too much here. So it could be too much fun sometimes, but absolutely. I just want to do a little shout out to Jess Hessling. Has been she's our registrar, and she had a little note for you. So I wanted to make sure that you got to see that.
Hi, Chaz.
She lies about my age, but I appreciate that. She commented when I said that, she's like, I'm only 27. I'm like, And so
Me too. I'm only 27.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I don't know how many. I'm on the other side of that. So I wanted to ask you our questions that I always ask everybody at the end of our broadcast. But first, I wanted to just first of all welcome you to our campus, and thank you so much for agreeing to join our family and being a great presence on the Prescott campus. And I think the students that are going to be working with you are going to be so lucky to have that encounter with you and relationship with you. Yeah, we are really happy to have you part of our team there. So. Thanks for sending that email that one day and making it happen. So
here's your resume.
Yeah, there we go. And why Wyoming? I'm just teasing Laura. So I'm going to ask you these questions now, your hot seat questions, and find out a little bit more about you. Okay. So which talent or superpower would you like to have?
As cliche as it is, to fly. I just think it'd be fun to have that freedom just to be like, and I'm off.
Yeah. So do you think the act of flying more so than the bit of the traveling part? Like to be to another place? Because I'm about being other places, but I don't want the journey. I just want to be there.
I think it's the actual act of flying. I just think it'd be so unique.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Okay. So if you weren't in the massage industry, you weren't a massage therapist, what occupation do you think you'd most like to have? Or what would you be doing?
So this one, I'm gonna answer this, but also because of some other people have told me this too, or have asked me this. Have you ever considered acting? So I think I would probably be an actor.
Okay, more stage, movies, TV.
Probably movies.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Little
not so
action.
much on stage, is that like the not that so much, but yeah, I think movies or a TV show or something would be fun.
Oh, be fun. Like a comedy. I could see you in a comedy role.
Like Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, that would be so fun. Like a smart comedy like that. Yeah, totally true. Yep, totally good. Love it. If money and circumstances weren't issues, where would you most like to live?
I would probably say Scotland or the south of France, because I took many years of French, and just thinking of like Versailles and just thinking of the beautiful southern part of France, it'd just be so much fun.
Nice. Have you been to Europe at all?
Only to Paris once.
Okay. All right. I have yet to beat it to Europe. I thought I would be there no time at all because I lived in upstate New York, and it's just hop over the pond, right? And now I live in Arizona. So there goes that. So a little hop, skip, and a jump. So where am I? Oh, what is your most treasured possession?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't really know. I'd probably have to say my cats. They're my own little. They make up me and my own little family. I just have two cats.
What are their names?
So I have a long-haired. Her name is Sheridan, and then a short-haired, and her name is Converse, like the shoe.
I love that. I just have to show Laura's response to your Schitt's Creek. Ew, Chaz.
You, David.
Oh, Chaz. We're gonna have to put on a shirt or something and make you wear it.
We're gonna
and people won't get it, and they're just gonna be confused. But we'll have our inside joke. That's all that matters. Exactly. Okay. And the final question: what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Ooh, so many things. I probably would have told my 18-year-old self to go to massage school first. Start in massage school.
Yeah.
and save me a little bit of money and a little bit of headache, and would have just been like, hey, go do the thing. Go do
Yeah.
massage school
Yeah.
now instead of waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. But the best part about it, really, anytime you do it is a good time to do it, right?
Yeah.
You got to
Because
get up
that's
and
the
do it.
cool thing. We get such non-traditional students from all walks of life, all age ranges. So it's
Mhm.
really neat. But I think I would have been, that's probably what I would have told myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super smart. I'm seeing and I hear this from the education groups that I'm in, the age ranges of the students in massage schools are getting younger and younger.
Mhm.
I know when I was in school, a lot of the second, third, fourth career type people were in
Yeah.
it. And now a lot of people right out of high school, but we have students in our 60s sometimes and everything in between. So I know there's occasionally people are worried about like their bodies and how do they do it and can they still do it? And the way you talked about self-care, and we are very big on self-care and body mechanics
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything else and adjustments that we need to make if that's the case. And helping those youngins too know you can't do this way forever. So you better get your body mechanics in check right now, right?
Not all about the strength. You gotta
Exactly.
you just use your own leverage and body mechanics and
Yeah,
use them
exactly.
appropriately. And here's how you do it.
So yeah, so you are full of knowledge of every part of the industry, from admissions all the way up through graduation. So, like I said, the students are going to have a lot of support from you up in Prescott, and they really need to get on the phone and come on in and come and meet you and get to experience the Chaz. So,
Come see me.
yes, absolutely. Any last words of wisdom, advice, taglines?
I mean, I'm sure my students, even my current ones that I've been working with a little bit, they're probably already tired of hearing me say, don't forget your O's, I's, and A's. O's, I's, and A's. And they're like, we know, we'll maybe work on flashcards. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah. Now you're gonna quiz them. Yeah. I love it.
Which is memorizing those O's, I's, and A's. Just
Yeah,
that's
gonna help you with that.
tremendously.
Yes, gonna help you figure out all your clients much better, make your work more efficient. Gonna be really, really helpful.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it. Yeah. All right, Chaz, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us today
you.
and doing this broadcast up from Prescott.
Yeah.
And I thank you to our live viewers. You know who you are. I love you very much right now. And anyone watching on the recap, please make sure to check out. I'll put it on the screen real quick. We have our website if you want to find out more information. If you want to get in touch with Chaz and Kristen at the Prescott campus or any of our other campuses, all our information is on our website in there. We do have 2 starts coming up in July, both full and part-time programs. So we have lots of options, very easy to fit in your schedule, what's going to work for you. So come in on and chat with us. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week again, Friday, 1:00 Arizona time every week.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Chaz. We'll see you
You're
later.
welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye.